folks, back in the Bossman show from the show. Dustin Kerns here, champs of the Sun Belt Conference, winning 4 games in 4 days. Coach Kerns, good to talk to you again. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. It's always good to be on the Bossman show.
Coach Kerns, tell us about it, man. Hey, you got a tough stretch there, man, before going to Pensacola, Florida, man, and tell us about the journey, man. You guys really persevered down there, got close wins in all 4 games, man. Tell us about your team, man, how they performed, knowing what you had gone through prior to this tournament getting started down there.
Well, I remember being on your show. We think we were 12-5, and then we went down to Troy, and then we went on pause for a couple of weeks. And I don't recommend that in basketball, taking 2 weeks off. But it also just shows the strength of the Sun Belt. It's a tremendous conference, and so you could lose 5 in a row in this Sun Belt pretty easily. It's a really good league, and so but we got back. We knew what we were capable of, and we went down there and just focused on the first game and got it, and then momentum kept us and kept going.
You got that right. And, Coach, what I loved about it was that your guys, man, 2 of your young men, Michael, man, his career high against Georgia State, who you and I both know very well is a tough team, and you beat those guys several times this year. So, Coach does a great job. Tell us about that game and knowing, hey, Georgia State's been tough in this conference for years. And your guy, Michael, scored 32 points, 6 3-pointers in the biggest game of the year for your team. Which was a way to punctuate the journey you all had to the Sun Belt, which was tough, but you got the job done with it. And tell us about, Michael, what you guys did against Georgia State on that championship game, man, winning about 7 points there.
Well, Omonesi is a kid that was playing Division II basketball last year, in Southern New Hampshire. And so what a cool story. When Bobby Crimmins, the former Georgia Tech coach, was the head coach at App State, he went up to New York and got a couple kids, Daryl Robinson and things, and were just really, really legendary players here at App State. So we're sitting there thinking, hey, it worked out for him. Maybe we need to do the same. So we went up to New York and got Michael Omonesi, who was playing a grad transfer and playing a year. And just, wow, but that's the strength of our team. We could have Ford score 28. We could have Delph score 28. And then Almonesi stepped up and scored. So we've got older, good guards. And certainly Almonesi stepped up that night and just made some incredible shots.
And, Coach, what's good about the run is like, your guys got tough. I feel like you guys loosened up after night one. Loosened up. Played Texas State, but been good all year long. Terrence Johnson done a great job. Forgot the full-time job.
Yeah.
Does a great job. Cliff Ellis does a great job. Like, you didn't beat no slouches, which is so good. Tell us about your team, how that first night loosened them up, they just kept on going, and how was the mindset? You guys kept fighting every night down and knowing you had something good going. So when did you feel that your team kind of say, hey, nothing to lose here. We can play it loose. Let's get this job done here.
Well, we talked about it. We said, listen, we got to win the first game. We've got to beat Little Rock, who was the preseason favorite. That's one thing I think that our guys earned it. We beat the preseason favorite Little Rock. We beat the regular season champ Texas State with Terrence Johnson, does a great job and, got the head job and deserves it. And then Cliff Ellis at Coastal Carolina's won a gazillion games, and they were a really good team, 2 seed in the East. And then Georgia State had won 8 in a row. So we earned it. It's not like we beat the 9, 10, and 11, 12 seed. But I really thought after we got Little Rock, we got some confidence, and then against Texas State, how we won that game, certainly showed a lot of character, and then we were just able to keep going. Once you get to Monday, I wasn't super worried about our legs. Once you get to Monday night, your adrenaline's pumping and you're kind of ready to go.
And winning in overtime is so fun, because it's a crapshoot. But to know that your guys in those extra few minutes there gave it their all, executed when it counted. Because, coaches, you and I both know it's make or miss execution and planning, re-injury, and effort. That's what it comes down to at that point of the game. Is seeing your guys being older, going through those wars, being experienced, man. Justin Forrest, your point guard, the leader, man, getting the job done, making late free throws for you guys. Tell us about that, man. Just seeing that you're young, that your team, these young men you coaching all this year, in toughest times, they came through for you, and having leaders like Justin Forrest, man, has to make you really happy.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that, in the process of becoming a great team, when you've got adversity and challenges, it can bring you closer, right? And so, those things can bring you closer. And so when we had those adverse, challenging moments against Texas State and Coastal Carolina, we were just so connected by all the other challenges from COVID or whatever it may be that we were able to overcome it.
And that's so great, coach. Because I mean, this year, man, knowing that you got had a cover that pause, man, losing streak, but guess what you did? You didn't give up. Your team could have tapped out and quit. They never did that. They persevered, buckled down. You got a late win there, so you was ready to rock and roll. So for this, knowing what we did deal with this past year, coach, I feel like this win for you guys gonna last for a lifetime because on the hardest year ever, we, App State, Boone, North Carolina, we got the job done.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, and I talked about it from back in August with our team. Like we got a choice to make. We can either embrace all these challenges, or waste it. I think some teams are just going all this testing and all these protocols, and we haven't been in our locker room in a while. We've been doing film stuff and everything in the classroom. Like it can get exhausting, and so it's easy to just kind of waste it. I get this year back anyway. No, let's embrace it. Let's embrace it. And I think that once you get through it, this year, in more ways than more, will be like a badge of honor.
You got that right, because Coach Waxman, when we talked, you was riding high, and I was feeling good about your chances. You had to come down and play Georgia State after we talked.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
yeah, you came down, played Georgia State. It's tough, right? But guess what, man? I was feeling like, wow, it got postponed on you guys. So wow, that didn't happen. But guess what? You never stopped, man. Like I just commend you for it because Coach Kerns, you are a great coach, and you're a great man too as well. And I know that about you. Watch you from afar, man. So you're
I got a good coaching staff. I appreciate
yes, you
that.
do.
I got a good coaching staff, and I got a lot of good people around me, man. I'm just a small part of it.
But your players, though, watching the game, here in Atlanta, watching the game against Georgia State, they made a run at you, but your guys didn't fold and crack. They stayed the course. They took the punch and kept on going. That's why I love about your team. It was really connected. It was really together, and they watched. They was paying attention to you closely. They wasn't just zoning out. They didn't lose the focus of the matter. That you all, to your staff, everybody was engaged. And I would look at them on benches. If I see people engaged, I know they're going to win the game. They was making a run at you. They didn't stop, man. Even though they was making shots and making it close, but I knew. I said, hey, App got this tonight. It's their night. And I can see the calm on your guys, for Michael going crazy, Dustin doing his thing, making late free throws, man. So I just saw it, Coach. Just watching you guys, I knew it because I saw what you guys had done in your teams together, and that win mentality. It was one App State at that point, and that night against Georgia State there.
Well, you're right. We got some tough guys, and we got some guys out there that just were not going to let us lose. They were pouring everything they had into it, and I just think that says a lot about their character.
Yes.
I think that we've got some great young men in our locker room. We've got truly a good team, but we've just got some really good kids from some really good families that certainly we're proud of.
And Coach also tells you this for my listeners out here: you all got better day by day, game by game, because guess what? Every day you wake up to go to the gym and get better. And you was playing games, but you was getting better. You tough things out and still got the job done and getting better. And now, hey, 21 years since you guys been to the big dance, man. 2000, I was 13 years old then. Wow, I'm young. I was young then. 13 years old then in 2000, man. 21 years you back. How's it feel, man? They bring this great university in Boone there back to the dance after 21 years of not being there.
Well, I think it's great for our university. It's great for our community. This is a great area, and I hope it really exposes more and more, people to know what a great area this is in Boone and Bowling Rock, and we got a great place up there. And then App State, I think hopefully we'll have more and more enrollment. We're at 20,000 students now, but more people look at our university. This is a great place and full of great people.
No doubt. Coach, one more thing for you before you go. Tell us a good story about my buddy Lloyd Pierce, man. Former coach of Atlanta Hawks here. Tell us a good Lloyd Pierce story. I know you coached him, so tell us a good story about LP.
Well, I didn't coach him, but I coached at Santa Clara, and he was a former player at Santa Clara. And so when I came in as a coaching staff, obviously you're trying to connect with former players and things like that. And he was there, and he was very instrumental in trying to help us be successful. And I just thought, listen, Lloyd is a great guy. He's a great friend, and he's a great coach. You don't get selected to be on the Olympic staff, but he's so respected. You know, from LeBron James to whatever, like everybody loves Lloyd Pierce. I think he's a great guy, and I think he's a great coach. And I'm looking forward to his next chapter because he will be a head coach again, and he will be very successful. You know, he was part of the process at Philadelphia. He was doing the same thing. He's on the same path in Atlanta, and I think most importantly, he's a phenomenal person. He's a great family man. He's a husband. He just had his second daughter. He's got a beautiful family, and he makes a difference in the community. I know he made a difference in Atlanta.
Yes, he
I
did.
know he made a difference in Atlanta, and Atlanta determined to be a big difference in the country, in the election and stuff. So I know Lloyd is he's a difference maker. He's a difference maker, I was disappointed in the decision that the Atlanta Hawks made, but Lloyd Pierce will win at the end of the day because of his character, and I'm happy for the whatever the next chapter is for him, where he can be appreciated and valued.
I'll tell you what, one more thing, Coach. He's a very nice man. He answers questions I wouldn't even answer from people in the media. He's a
Oh,
great.
well, I tell you this. I'll tell you what else he did. Okay, during quarantine, back in May, June, and July. Tell you what kind of guy he is and what kind of coach. You know, as a coach, are you impacting other people? Right. It's not about designing a play or a defense. Are you impacting other people? Tell you what kind of guy Lloyd Pierce is. He did a clinic weekly for coaches
Hmm.
to try to grow the coaches and grow the game. And so here's an NBA head coach sharing over Zoom practice drills and things like that with high school coaches, with college coaches. It was the only coach NBA. Maybe others did it. I don't know of any, but like it just says so much about him that he cares about uh, developing people and sharing and that was one of the highlights of my quarantine was that weekly Atlanta Hawks chalk talk session with coaches. I learned a lot from that, and he had Jay Wright from Villanova zoom in because they're assistants together on the Olympic team. Like they're very well respected. What he's done in the community, what he's done for coaches. Lloyd Pierce will be a head coach again one day, and he'll be very successful.
Yes, Atlanta can never be thankful to having a man like Lloyd Pitcher in Atlanta. He did a lot for our community. He still does a lot in our community that people don't even know about. So, Lloyd Pitcher is a great man. I'm glad to know that you and Coach Pierce are buddies and friends, and he knows you very well. And I would love to let him know that I had you on the show today and text him and let him get the link to this interview because I feel like anybody that's friends with Lloyd Pierce is a friend of mine. I was probably cool with you before his coach, but I love you more. Knowing you cool with LP, I love you even more, Coach. I know that's right, man.
He's great. Like I said, as a young coach going out to Santa Clara, most coaches would have, hey, you guys just, figured out. He so proud and prideful of his alma mater that he wanted to see his alma mater be successful. And so during that transition, the fact that we were able to develop a relationship spoke even more about him. And so I've always had great respect for him as a coach, a teacher, but most importantly, a person.
You got there, Coach Kerns. I'll be cheering for you guys on Selection Sunday. Hope you get a great matchup. Hope to see you guys win and make a run there, Coach. Hope to talk to you next week when you're going Sweet 16, man. Hopefully, okay.
Let's do it. It's always great to be on the Bossman Show. I appreciate your time.
Anytime, Coach Kerns. You be blessed, buddy.
Take care.
All right now.